Another week and another episode of the Emergency Storage Shed Clean Out series. This is episode 36. We're going to get some more stuff out of here, have a look at it, see what value we get, sell it, use it, fix it, whatever it takes. Hey guys, Chris the Ultimate Recycler. I'm getting enough room in here now that I can do the introductions in here. I've got the selfie stick fully extended. I've still got room behind me, and I'm not even hitting the door yet. So how good's that? We're working on this shelf over here. I've got some more empty spots here from last episode. It looks like we've got a bench grinder and some other power tool down here, and I'm not sure what's below, so let's have a look. So we're just about finished this grey cabinet, and I have been putting a bit of other stuff in the top as I've mentioned, but we actually have 4 empty shelves at the moment, and we're about to have at least another 2. So I think there's just a bench grinder in there. I do have a few bench grinders around. I'll have to get it out, see if I'm going to use it here. Whatever the case, I'm going to test it. That's looks like a Makita something, possibly a belt sander. So that's pretty cool. Looks like there's some belts in there, and I'm not sure what these are. They're perspex or acrylic. Oh, they're signs. I remember these. They're 1950s probably or 60s office signs. They would have screwed to the doors. There's a few different ones. Exit and staff only. I had these actually in my house when I lived behind the shop. They're pretty cool. There's a few others. I think one says supper room and one says, oh, I don't remember, powder room maybe. We'll have a look at those in a tick. So we'll get those 2 things out, take them through to the bench, and I'm not sure what's underneath that. It looks like there's some old flat belting, and I don't know what's in that box. Maybe some sort of power tool, maybe random hardware again. And I wouldn't even guess what's in the other side. I don't know what that is. We'll get to it in due course. Let's have a look at these 2 items on the top shelf here first. Okay, this bench grinder might be one that I keep. It looks like it's a reasonable one. It's got a couple of good fine grinding wheels on it. A little bit rusty, but we'll check that out in a tick. And this is a Makita belt sander. It looks like quite an older model, but they were a pretty robust machine, those. They should, it'll sell well if I don't decide to keep it. I think I have another one here, and I have one that I bought parts for to do up at one stage, and there will be a video on that. And I was correct with the signs. We have supper room and we have powder room. So they're pretty cool. I might even hang these up around the shed just for a bit of quirky humour. They'd probably sell quite well. I would think I'd get $10 to $15 each for them without any problems. So there's 4 of them here, so say at least $50. But they're kind of quirky to have up on the wall. Supper room, maybe I could put that on my little workshop. I don't think I've got a powder room here unless I put it over near the sandblaster. It's close to a powder room. Staff only, well, that could be at the front door surely. Exit, well, I don't have an exit other than the front door. Maybe I can put it over the window in case of emergencies. We'll work out what to do with those later. Okay, the bench grinder first. It's a Ohio Forge. Never heard of it. 6-inch bench grinder made in Taiwan. I would suggest it's probably 1980s vintage. Fairly heavy motor, cast aluminium ends, cast iron base. So I do like that it's a bit more sturdy than the modern ones. It's got all the guards and everything on it. It's got the end guards on it. The little perspex shield. As I said, it's a bit rusty, but it's probably still in perfect working condition. Certainly spins over nice and freely. I can't hear any bearing noise. I think we'll probably plug it in. I'll plug it in through my appliance tester just to make sure that everything's safe. The cord looks all right. The plug looks typical of a 1980s plug, but it looks undamaged. So I reckon we'll plug it in and test it. I think I'll put it under the bench in the main shed here, just because I'm likely to need another one later on. Someone said in one of my videos that you can never have too many bench grinders, and you'll see the yellow one over there that I use quite a lot. You probably can't quite see it from there. Let's have a quick look. So yeah, the one over there, it's got the wire buffing wheel on it and a fairly coarse grinding wheel. I have another one with a very fine wheel, and I have some polishing buffing wheels to go on that one. So yeah, I expect, because you can get different grade polishing wheels, I may use this one as well. So I think I'll put it aside for now, but we will test it. Value-wise, if it tests out okay with a bit of a clean-up, I'd probably only have about $30 on it, but I don't think we'll write that down. I think we'll hang on to this one. Let's test it while we're here. Okay, I'll put you guys a bit further away so that the camera doesn't vibrate on the bench. We'll plug it into my appliance tester. I've got the earth wire hooked up, so we'll power it up and see what happens. Well, that sounds very quiet. Okay, I just skipped past all the slow wind down. These things take ages to slow up. It's quiet. It virtually doesn't vibrate at all. I think that's actually a nice bench grinder. So other than looking a bit sort of aged, I think it will be a good one for the workshop here. I'll put it under the main bench here for now until I get some more bench space to set it up, and I'll give it a clean up down the track. But it tests safe, the earth's good, it runs nicely. That's a keeper. Now let's check out this Makita belt sander. It's a good, solid, robust one. I would imagine it dates probably to the 1980s again. The cord's very long and quite heavy, but I did notice there's a bit of a kink here, and it looks like it's been chewed, but perhaps run over by a caster in a workshop and twisted. Maybe, I don't think it's been sanded, but I think there was another patch here somewhere up closer to the machine here, where maybe the cord has actually got under the sander and it's taken most of the outer sheath off. You can see the wires. It hasn't damaged the internal wires. I don't think there was a bit of a nick there too, so the cord's certainly been in the wars. I think most of it's okay. I'm not sure about here. It may have damaged an internal wire, but we'll be able to test it through our appliance tester and at least see how the unit sounds. I can't see any other damage to it. The case is pretty good. It's very heavy. These are almost a professional unit, I think, and the model is Makita belt sander model 9900B. I think it's about, doesn't say on the tag, but I think it's about 850 watts. I did have a quick look on eBay. I found a couple of them in used condition sold, and both made over $100. So I think they're quite sought after. But I'll probably keep this for a few projects I've got on the go. I am going to do a bit of timber work. I've got a project I started about 12 months ago that I actually needed a belt sander to finish. And I have another one of these slightly larger that I've bought a few parts for, and I've started a video on it, and I've never got back to it. So we'll do that at some stage too. But this one possibly is usable as it is. The dust collection bag looks in good order. So let's put it onto our appliance tester. We'll power it up and we'll just see if it does work. Hopefully the cord hasn't got a break in it. The cord, I possibly could have shortened the cord with the damage here is very close to the machine and there's plenty of length, but we have that other bad bit as well. So if it tests safe, I could probably just tape these up for my own use, but if I was to sell it, I would certainly need to replace the cord. Okay, let's power it up. We don't have an earth. It's strange. I did notice a double insulated symbol here, so it doesn't run an earth wire, and yet it's got metal construction. So I'm not sure what the go is there, but that's obviously how they've made it. Let's put that clip on an earth section before we fire it up. On a metal piece, hopefully it doesn't grab on the blade. I think that'll do there. You can't see that, but you don't need to. Let's give it a go on this board. Okay, the switch is a bit sticky. It doesn't release properly, but that's an easy fix. It's done a beautiful job on that board, and it's fairly coarse paper. It was probably well worn, but it still does the job. Yeah, that's going to be very good. You can feel the power in it. It's got a lot of power, and it's good that it's heavy, because a lighter one I think would be harder to keep working on the timber. It would bounce around a lot. And I did clamp the timber to the bench here. I don't know if you can see the clamp just there, just in case it grabbed and actually shot the timber towards me. That's a nice unit. I'm going to keep that. I would reckon it's got to be worth at least $100. Probably if I was to clean it up and put another cord on it, I'd put 150 on it in the shop. But I think I'll hang on to this one and use it. And if I end up with a few of them, because I think there's a third one around here in a drawer somewhere in a cupboard, I may sell it down the track. But at this stage, I'm just going to tape the wire up. The tester said that everything's okay, and I'll use that for some of my jobs. Excellent. No money to be made here, but some good stuff for me. Well, given that we've made no money, or at least got nothing to sell in the shop from this particular episode, let's get a few more things off the bench there. This was that flat belt. It's a drive belt from an old engine that used to drive off the flywheel of the engine and run a lay shaft with small flat pulleys. This one looks in reasonable condition. The guys that restore old engines sometimes run generators and like lighting plants or water pumps off their, when they're displaying them at an engine rally or something. I think that will sell. I don't think I need to keep it. I do have a couple of old engines to do up, but I can't ever see myself setting up a flat belt to run something with, so I'll put that in the shop for $10. So yay, we've got something to sell. What was in this? I'm not sure. Hang on, you can't see it. What was in this? Feels like it might be some sort of socket set, maybe. I've had enough sockets lately. I'll open it in a tick. I'll go and get the things in the other compartment, and then I'll bring the camera down and we'll have a better look at them. Okay, these other two items aren't as interesting as I thought. We have a little set of parts drawers. I think these may have been out of someone's shed, and I might have used them in my shed. And the container, I thought it might have been an oil container. It's obviously Roundup. It's come out of someone's shed. They've created their own label design. Pretty cool. At least they spelt it right, I think. Roundup. And yep, and that just said, oh yeah, Roundup. So I'm not sure. It's probably half full. Someone told me in a video a while back when I found some Roundup, they said this stuff has a shelf life, so it may not be any good because it's been here for a long time and it was probably in someone else's shed for a long time. But I do use a little bit of Roundup. I might try it. I'll mix up a little bit of this and see if it works. If it does work, I can use it to just clean up around the fences. As I've said numerous times, I don't like using sprays very much, but sometimes it's just convenient around the back fence. Otherwise, it gets overgrown too much. So we'll check that out. No value there. Let's bring the camera down and we'll have a look in these. Okay, we'll save this mystery one till last. Let's have a look in these drawers. It looks like some of them are labelled. Oh, there's some little keys. In fact, these aluminium ones are from a Briggs & Stratton engine, so I may use them at some stage. We just have a fitting for some sort of clutch cable, might be off a motorbike, and some clamps for throttle cables off mowers. Yeah, various other. Oh, I think they're chainsaw bar adjusting thingos. So this may have even come from my shop. A few little jets out of carbies, some hose clamps, lots of different circlips, roll pins. Well, they're handy sometimes. Oh, that's a ring set to suit an Echo brush cutter. Okay, so this must have come from my shop years ago. There's a spring. I don't remember this. A few little bits and pieces. Some little spring washers. So I'll put this in the shed here. I'll revamp it at some stage and make it, it might be all for some split pins. I'll use it in my shed when I get organised later on. You can never have enough little drawers, but you can have too many little drawers that are just random stuff. I'd like to sort something into it, maybe all different size self-tappers and label it or something to get, much more organised. So I'll keep that, but there's not much value. In fact, there's no value in there as far as sales go. Okay, let's have a look in here, see if we can find something else to sell. Of course, it might be something good that I want to keep. Oh, okay, it's an air rattle gun. This wasn't mine. It must have come out of someone's shed. These are good if you're doing a lot of like changing tyres on your car and heavier duty work. These are single hex sockets, 1/2-inch drive, and they're quite strong. I'm not sure if this is a good brand or not. Proton Air. It's made in Taiwan, so it's possibly 1980s or 90s again. So it looks like it's hardly had any use at all, really. It's probably spent all of its life sitting in here. In fact, I don't think any of the sockets have had their paint knocked off them, so it's probably pretty much a brand new set. Do I need to keep it? Well, I can't see many times that I want to use it, but sometimes these are very good for getting like base plates off lawnmowers, because the rattle, well, they call them a rattle gun, but the chatter of them undoing the nut often loosens up things that are tight. So I have a good air compressor in the shed now. I think I will hang on to this. It's just something that I might not use very often, but on the odd occasion it could be extremely handy, particularly if I'm scrapping out something that's quite rusty and it's got larger size bolts on it. So there we go. I've justified keeping something else, but yeah, it looks like a nice set. It's complete, and I seriously think it's never been used, or at least only once or twice. Where does that go under there? So, okay, not much value to sell, is there? But lots more goodies for me. So, guys, this is, in some respects, the most disappointing unboxing of this whole series. But in other respects, it's the best. It's a good one. So, we've got something to sell for about $10. We might get more, but I think I'll just go $10. Nothing else to sell. Everything else I want to keep. That's not how to clean out a shed. Although, as you would understand, the stuff is useful tools, and I'm going to have a fully functional workshop by the time I'm finished. I'm going to need useful tools. I'm going to need storage, so the little drawers will be handy. So there you go. I did put the bench grinder. I did put the belt sander. Those little signs I guess we could sell, but I kind of gonna like them here. They're quirky. So I've put that stuff back in those shelves, but at least they're organized. At least I know what they are. I know that they're going to have a use here. And we've created a few empty shelves down below. There's not much more to go in that cabinet. Next episode we'll clear that up. Then we'll get back into the main area, and there's probably that timber barrel. We'll see what's in that. Who knows? We might find some good stuff to eventually sell. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you in the next video. Bye for now.